Hi guys, Look here and welcome to another FIFA 21 player review, and today guys I'm going to be reviewing the 87 rated player moments SBC Moussa Dembele from Atletico Madrid, celebrating his brace against Manchester City in the quarterfinals of the Champions League last season when he was playing for Lyon. He has now since of course moved to Atletico Madrid and been, kind of rewarded or recognised or whatever you want to call it for that particular match that he did play. And I think it's a really cool SBC, only one segment to him, so I thought I'll go ahead and complete the SBC. Didn't cost me anything, already had stuff in the club. I ended up playing 3 games with him, scoring 4 goals and getting 3 assists. He does also have 4-star in both skill moves and weak foot against using game stats and run less in game stats, the likes of his 91 positioning, 92 finishing, 91 strength, 92 reactions as well. I did also have the engine chems that apply to him, and then finishing with the player traits is the flair and outside foot shot traits as well. And this is a really cool SBC in my personal opinion. Of course, there's lots of good French strikers in the game. There's the various cards for for Ben Yedder, for Mbappe, for Karim Benzema as well. There's a lot of good French strikers already in this game, but I think Dembele, is an interesting SBC in that the card itself is good in game. Like, he plays very well. He's got 4-star, 4-star. He's got nice dribbling, very nice physicalities. He's got a good work rate. His pace is nice. His shooting is nice. He's also got some nice passing stats as well, short passing and vision. But he is relatively expensive, and I do sit there and think that although that yes, he's very easy to be able to link into different teams like French teams, La Liga teams, hybrid teams or whatever, I still think that if he was on the market, he wouldn't cost what the SBC is coming at. So if you had to go and buy every single player, this SBC will cost around about 200,000 coins. And whilst I think it's a good card, does it represent fantastic value for money? Listen, I don't think it's not bad value for money, but it's not like 10 out of 10 at the same time. I think if you go and look at like the Wayne Rooney SBC, I think a card like him represents, although he's more expensive than Dembele, I think a card like him and what you get in return probably represents better value for money than what Dembele does. Now, don't get me wrong, Dembele was a good card to use in game, but there are plenty of players already like him, that are available in the game for a very similar price. I think there are good things about him. I think maybe you've already been able to unlock that player moments Luis Suarez, that allows you to make a good link between the two cards there, as well, of course, which is obviously fantastic. But there were some good parts to him. We'll talk about his finishing, of course. Fantastic at 4 goals in the 3 games was certainly a great risk. He's got some very nice finishing stats, like his 92 finishing, 91 positioning, 89 shot power. His long shots aren't great, coming in at 80. You could argue that you might want to improve those. I personally wanted to focus more on getting his pace, his likes of his balance up as well. But his actual finishing from like close range was really good in game, especially on his right foot in particular as well. He does know how to drive the ball into the back of the net, generate a lot of power behind his shots. So finishing wise, he was he was sound in that area, absolutely. His dribbling, again, very good, of course, having 4-star skill moves. Now, his dribbling looks like pretty decent, not insane, but it's fairly well rounded in like the mid-80s. Of course, his reactions coming in at 92 is already fantastic. His balance at 83 is a little bit on the low side, so I thought that I'd kind of put a chem style, which the engine nicely fixes his balance. It goes from 83, which, it's not bad, but it's not like necessarily, too high at the same time. So I wanted to get that up, and I get him from 83 up to 93, which is certainly a lot better. His agility goes up into the low 90s. His dribbling goes from 85 to 95. So actually, on the ball, he does feel pretty smooth. Does he feel as smooth as like a does he feel as smooth as an Mbappe? No, he doesn't. But I still think that, for the most part, he does feel relatively agile on the ball, being able to kind of, weave in and out of opposition defenders and stuff like that as well. I think that's something that can certainly be done with this card. And also his passing as well was also pretty good. To come in with 3 assists in those 3 games, 83 vision, 87 short passing. His curve is also pretty nice as well. One of his assists was from a cross, and because of how good his curve was, he can just whip him really good balls. And so one of his assists was a cross that Mbappe finished off. And of course, having that engine cam, so taking that curve from 83 up to 93 is certainly fantastic. His vision goes to 88. His short passing goes up to 92 as well, which is very good. So could you play him as a cam? I mean, you could argue that you could, because, the engine camera style takes his passing stats to very decent standards, to be quite honest. But I still think his best position to play him in would 100% be a striker. Centre forward as well, maybe just tucked in behind like a, behind a striker would also be pretty decent. But on the whole, it is a very good card. I think, although he played very well in game and he got me 7 goal contributions, I still don't know if he's not terrible value for money. That's why I go 7 out of 10 for the value for coins. It's not awful, 200,000 coins. And the chances are you probably already have something in your club to make the SBC a little bit cheaper. Of course, there's the various upgrade packs available right now. The 81 plus player pick packs, the 82 to the 88 rated packs. They're very easy to be able to craft as well. So I'm sure you can get this card a lot cheaper. Though I'm sure there's a lot of people who can get it cheaper maybe than 100,000 coins, and maybe even for free like I did. In which I think he's decent value for money. He'll be useful for objectives later down the road. He allows some really good squad building opportunities with, like, you know, with French, La Liga, hybrid teams and stuff like that. So on the whole, I do think he's a good SBC. I think he's better than the SBCs that we saw for Ryan Brewster. He's been better than the player pick SBCs that we've seen for Future Stars. I personally think he's a decent SBC, and also we should be getting another French SBC later on this week for the Future Stars promo, because EA did tweet out that they've sent like another Future Stars talent scouts or whatever, and the French nation to pick an SBC from was like the most voted for, so I'm guessing we'll get like an SBC like you know, over that in like the next few days, which would allow for some more nice things to this Dembele card. So on the whole, I think it's a decent SBC in my personal opinion. But anyway guys, hopefully you have enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys later.